Chapter 3. Introduction to Latitude and Longitude. Do you know how ships measured their speed long ago? Do you know why a ship's speed today is given in knots rather than miles per hour or kilometers per hour? Long ago, each ship carried a piece of wood fastened to a rope. The rope had knots tied in it. Each knot was a certain distance from the next. To measure the ship's speed, the piece of wood was thrown overboard. It pulled the rope out behind it. The faster the ship was going, the faster the rope went out. Someone counted how many knots passed over the side in a certain length of time. If 7 knots were pulled out, the ship is said to be traveling at a speed of 7 knots. Today, 1 knot is about 1.15 miles per hour. Ships of long ago had to keep track of their speed on long voyages, because they had no other way to tell how far they had been traveling. Ships often became lost. For example, a storm might blow them far away from where they needed to go. What people needed was a way to tell exactly where they were on the Earth's surface, their absolute location. They also needed to be able to find their way to any other absolute location. What they needed was a grid system that covered the entire Earth. You know that a grid is made up of 2 sets of lines that cross each other. A grid system that covered the whole Earth could let anyone find any location on the Earth. We have such a grid system today. We call it latitude and longitude. Latitude lines, called parallels, run east and west around the Earth. Longitude lines, called meridians, run north and south. Latitude and longitude are measured in degrees. The shape of the Earth is a sphere. It is 360 degrees around a sphere. Each degree of latitude or longitude is 1/360th of the distance around the Earth. The symbol for degrees is a little circle. The starting point for measuring degrees of latitude is the equator. The equator is a line of latitude. When it divides the Earth into 2 equal parts, the equator runs east and west all the way around the world, halfway between the North and South Poles. When we give the latitude of a place, we must state whether the place is north or south of the equator. For example, the North Pole is 90 degrees north latitude. If we only said the place was at 90 degrees latitude, we would not know if the place was the North Pole or the South Pole. The starting point for measuring longitude is called the prime meridian. The meridian is another name for longitude line. The Earth does not have an east pole and a west pole. Therefore, some point had to be chosen as the starting point for measuring longitude. Through international agreement, Greenwich, England, has been chosen as this place. All longitude is measured from the prime meridian that runs through North and South Poles through Greenwich, England. Lines of latitude run all the way around the Earth, but lines of longitude do not. On the other side of the Earth from the prime meridian is a line of longitude marked 180 degrees. This line is the ending point for measuring longitude. The area west of the prime meridian and 180 degrees is west longitude. The United States is located west of the prime meridian. Latitude and longitude are determined by measuring the angle between the equator or prime meridian at any point on Earth. Thank you for joining me for Chapter 3. God bless y'all.